please, man. Die. Just die. Just what the f am I doing? I'm not being this fucking boss. This is ridiculous. Dude, he has me trapped. He has me trapped. I don't lose these. I don't lose these. I don't. Ah! Damn it. So, I have ammo, bro. Yes. Let's go, bro. Yeah. So, 100 days of Calamity and Revengence mode. How I went from a noob to a god. No, I'm joking. I still suck. So, really quickly, if you do not know what Calamity is, it is basically a mod for Terraria that just adds way more bosses, loot, lore, items, just a ton of different things that make the game so much more fun and enjoyable. And I'm playing on Calamity Revengence mode, which Revengence is basically like hard mode, just harder, and adds even more stuff. So it's just better overall. And really quickly, things do start off pretty slowly in pre-hard mode. Nothing was like super difficult until near the end of pre-hard mode, but things really start to pick up during hard mode, especially the difficulty. And if you want to stick to the end and watch the entire video, the way that the 100 days ended, I couldn't have asked for anything better. I'm serious. So if you could just trust me here and just watch the entire video, I'd really appreciate it, and you will not regret it. And some quick side things, if you want to know what mods I used and what music was used during the video, it's all in the description. Most of the music was the Calamity OST besides some of it. Mainly all the boss fights though was Calamity music, and it's just so good. In every boss fight, it really got me bopping my head for real. And one last thing, I really put a lot of work, time, and effort into this video, so if you could show some love, I'd really appreciate it. But I mean, other than that, man, enjoy the video, and this is the 100 days. So on days 1 through 4, after I spawned in, I set the game to Revengence mode, and then I just basically ran around and explored my world, because I didn't know what Calamity had to offer yet. Then from days 5 and 6, I started on my elevator, and I found one of the many new biomes Calamity has to offer. And it's pretty sick, it looks pretty good. But when I was down there, I found this little house, and as soon as I got close, it started shooting at me. So I was like, you know, I'm good. Then from days 7 through 8, I made an arena in the desert biome, and I also made the king slime spawner and the desert scorch spawner, so I could do like a quick 2-for-1. Then on day 9, I was able to finish the arena and summon the king slime. And the king slime was just like any other king slime, except Calamity adds a new feature to all the OG bosses. And for the king slime, once you get him below like 50 HP, I think, the gem on his crown will actually come off and it will start shooting lasers at you. But I mean, like, other than that, it was pretty easy. Now, every boss has a chance to drop their lore item, and the lore item is pretty cool. It's a little piece of text that explains about the boss, and I'm gonna try to read every piece of lore item from every boss that I do manage to kill. And this is the King Slimes. Only a fool could be caught by this pitiful excuse for a hunter. Unfortunately, our world has no shortage of those. So on day 10, I was feeling good, so I spawned in one of Calamity's new bosses, the Desert Scourge. Wow, wasn't that epic? I killed it. I thought it'd be a lot harder fight than that, but I still managed to kill it. Now, I actually had to kill the Desert Scourge 2 more times so I can get the entire Vic-type armor set, and while I was killing it, it actually dropped me its bow, which is really good. It carried me for the next few boss fights. The Great Sea Worm appears to have survived the extreme heat and has even adapted to it. What used to be a majestic beast swimming through the water has now become a dried up and glutinous husk, constantly on a voracious search for its next meal. Now, after killing the Desert Scourge, the next thing I had to do was go to a new biome called the Sunken Sea and kill a giant clam mini boss. And not too long after entering, it did manage to spawn and I did manage to kill it. It was a very simple boss fight. All it really does is teleport above you and slam down pretty quickly, and it'll frequently summon little miniature clams come and attack you, but other than that, it was a very simple boss fight. And after you do manage to kill it, he'll spawn in a new NPC called Amidius. Now, the NPC didn't really sell anything I needed at the moment, but while I was down there, I did manage to find some gravity potions, and the gravity potions allowed me to go explore the Sky Islands, and that's really good because Sky Islands can have some very good loot. But when I went into the sky, there was this huge dome right above my base, and in the center of it, there was this room that also had turrets that were shooting at me every time I got near, so I thought it'd be best if I just left it alone for now. And instead, I decided on day 14, it's time to fight the Eye of Cthulhu. And it was a basic Eye of Cthulhu fight, but like the King Slime, it has a new phase. And because of Revengence mode, it actually goes enraged at 75% HP, and once you get it low enough, it goes into this new dashing phase. And it's honestly pretty easy to dodge, so I actually managed to kill it. And the lore item, that eye, how peculiar. I sensed it watching you more intensely as you grew stronger. So far, things haven't been too hard. Everything's been kinda easy. But trust me, as the video goes on, everything gets way more difficult and I start to struggle way more. So on day 15, I went mining for some gems so I can create my magic storage, which is a mod that I added to basically have one big central chest system to keep everything like tight, compact, and organized. Now on day 16, I started an arena in an underground mushroom biome because the next boss that I had to kill was a giant crab. Now on day 17, after finishing up the arena, I went to go and try and kill this crab. So yeah, I managed to die twice, and honestly, I was getting pretty frustrated because I managed to beat every other boss before this pretty easily, but this is where things start to ramp up in difficulty. And so on day 18, I decided to make the arena a little bit bigger and prepare a bit more and give it another shot. This is how it went. And like that, I killed it. I really liked that boss fight. It was actually really good, and the music, oh my god, it was on point. I can't believe I died a few times though. And here's the lore item. A crab and its mushrooms, a love story. It's interesting how creatures can adapt given certain circumstances. Now so far, things actually weren't looking too bad. I only had a few more bosses I had to kill till I got to hard mode, and I was killing all the other bosses pretty easily. But the next two bosses I have to kill were in my corruption biome, the Eater of Worlds and the Hive Mind. So on days 19 and 20, I actually died to the Eater of Worlds a lot. It was a lot harder than I thought it would be. And the thing that they changed in Revengeance mode is they gave it a lot more heads and made it do a bit more damage than it usually does. But it really confused me because I was dying to this boss and it's not even that difficult of a boss. But I just gave it a couple more tries and I did eventually manage to kill it. Perhaps it was just a giant worm infected by the microbe. Given centuries to feed and grow its festering body seems likely given the origins of this place. Now on days 21 and 22, I was really waiting for the goblin army to spawn because I really wanted the goblin trader NPC. But while running around, I accidentally spawned in the hive mind, and while fighting, I actually got super close to defeating it. So I came back fully prepared and ready to fight, and this is how it went. Wow, I did it. It only took me 2 tries. I was honestly very surprised with myself. But here's the lore item. A hive of clustered microbial infected flesh. I do not believe killing it will lessen the corruption here. Wow. Day 23. Wow. Now, day 23 is the day things really started to take a turn for the entire 100 days. Because I was getting ready to fight a literal god. The Slime God. Now, the Slime God is renowned for being one of the more difficult pre-hard mode bosses in Calamity. And they're not wrong. This boss fucking sucks. So instead of trying to fight that boss, I decided to go down into the mine to get some Aerolite ore, which is the new ore that generates after killing the hive mind. And Aerolite ore is used to make Aerolite bars, which is also used to make Aerospect gear, which is kind of like sky armor. Now on days 24 and 25, I would be in the sky grinding for harpy feathers and be in the mines getting Aerolite ore so I can make the whole Aerospect gear. Now after a bit of grinding, because the harpies took so long to drop me all their feathers, I managed to make the Aerospect armor set. Then for the rest of day 25, I decided to start construction on an arena at the dungeon because I wanted to try and fight Skeletron. Now after finishing the arena on day 26, I fought. And I got super close to beating him. Like, it's really close. And this is a boss that I usually struggle with. Then on day 27, the Acid Rain event happened, which is a new event added by Calamity at the Sulphurous Sea. Now I don't really remember exactly what I got from it, but I don't think it was anything too great. Now for the rest of day 27, I waited for it to turn dark so I could fight Skeletron again. But I got super close this time, so I had to give it another shot. And on day 28, I killed him. I don't know how, but I managed to kill him. This is probably the boss I hate the most out of all the pre-hard mode bosses. But I somehow managed to kill him in 3 tries. Now the thing that Calamity adds is after you first break his arms and get him low enough, he actually will grow his arms back. But I mean, other than that, that's basically it. The curse is said to only affect the elderly. After they are afflicted, they become an immortal vessel for an ancient demon of the underworld. Now, on day 29, I used some of the pumpkins that I planted to craft the Pumbler. This weapon right here was so good. It's probably one of the few reasons I actually got out of pre-hard mode. Now, before creating this weapon, I heard it was pretty good, so I went to go test it out in the dungeon. And I literally one-tapped. I was like, one tap, one tap, one tap. Now, seriously though, that gun is so good. But that wasn't the main reason I went into the dungeon. I really went to get a shadow key. Now, the reason I needed to get some shadow keys was because in the new biome, the Sulphurous Sea, there was some chests deep down under the ocean that had some really good loot, and I really wanted to see what I can get. And I did manage to open a few chests while down there, but I kept on dying, so I couldn't be there for too long because while you're down there, the water will poison you because it's kind of like a wasteland. But on day 30, after looking for some emeralds to upgrade my magic storage system, I decided to make the goblin army spawner because I was overdue to fight them and I really needed the goblin NPC. And after I did spawn them in, it was actually sad how bad I beat them. I mean, I was overdue to fight them, but it was sad. And the first thing I did after killing them was go in the cave so I could try to find them. And I did. And now I was finally able to buy the rock boots, and with those and the boots I already had on, I could finally make the Spectre boots. And after crafting the Spectre boots, I also crafted the bundle of balloons, which would help me a lot in the next boss fight. And you're able to actually craft a lot of the accessories so you're not in pain throughout the entire time. And for the rest of day 31, I built a very long platform above my base so I can try and fight the slime gods again. That's right. I was gonna try and fight him again. I went into this with full confidence. I had a new gun that does so much damage, a new platform that's really long, and new accessories to make me jump higher and run faster. Then day 32 came, and I prepared like I was about to fight the Moon Lord. I went around to all the NPCs that sold all the good potions, and I bought them all. I summoned the slime gods, and I fought. And this is what happened. And like that, I was able to kill it. I will say though, the Pumbler carried tremendously. If I didn't have it, probably wouldn't have beat it. After beating the boss, honestly, I felt like I could beat the entire game. I felt so good, but I would soon learn that I was wrong, because it was nothing compared to what I was about to fight next. But for now, let me just read you this lore item. It is a travesty, one of the most threatening biological terrors ever created. If this creature were allowed to combine every slime on the planet, it would become nearly unstoppable. Now, if there's one thing I learned from doing 100 days in Calamity, just when you think you're in the clear after beating one very hard boss, there's always an even harder boss right behind the corner. So, on day 33, I was going to make the static gel armor set because I got enough raw material from the slime god to make its own armor set. But first, I needed to go get hellstone. So I went down to hell to mine a ton of hellstone, and I managed to get a lot, and I was able to make the entire static gel armor set. And I even managed to make the Goobo. I thought it looked pretty cool, but I don't even think I used it for the next boss fight, so. Now, I was getting ready to fight the final boss before I was able to get into hard mode, where things were gonna get real intense very fast. And if you've ever played Terraria, you know what boss I'm talking about, the Wall of Flesh. Now, to get started, I went back down to hell to start on my hell platform. But for some reason, every single time I went down to hell, I couldn't build 3 platforms without 100 different mobs spawning all at once. On day 34, I was able to finish my hell platform and even reforge all my gear. It costed all my money, but I was able to get the best enchantments. And I fought and died. And on days 34 to 39, I was just lost. I had no clue what I could do. I was so mad because I just kept on dying. I couldn't win. I'd get him so low. But then I'd either run out of platform space or just I couldn't dodge any of his attacks. And I honestly did not know what I could do. Then I was just tired of losing. I lost this guy so many times, but I also had enough food dolls to fight this dude for another 100 days. And on day 40, I figured it out. I figured out how to win. So I grabbed my slime gun, which carried, made my platform even longer, probably tripled the size from the original, and I fought. I fought vigorously. All I wanted to do was win. And this is how the fight went. I see the deed is done. The unholy amalgamation of flesh and hatred has been defeated. Prepare to face the terrors that lurk in the light and dark parts of this world. And like that, I beat him. I overcame this tough obstacle. It took me a while, but I managed to beat him. But we're in hard mode now. This is only the start. Things are gonna get way worse for me in the future. Now, after defeating the Wall of Flesh, I did what everybody does and break some of the evil biome's altars to spawn into the new ores. But that is not what you're supposed to do in Calamity. You see, in Calamity, they make it to where even if you break the altars, all that's going to do is spread your evil biome. It doesn't spawn into new ores. To get those to spawn in, you have to beat the 3 mechanical bosses. And I did not know that, so all I was doing was spreading my evil biome. Now, after realizing I couldn't get any of the basic hard mode ores, I had no clue what I was supposed to do. So I spent all day 41 and 42 just getting souls of light. And while I was getting that, I managed to find the Queen Slime spawner, and I attempted to spawn it, and I died. Now, after losing to the Queen Slime, on day 43, I try to fight Cryogen, which is the first main hard mode boss that you want to fight. and I also lost. Now I realized after losing to both of those bosses, I had no clue what I had to do. I was just running around. From days 44 to 46, I was just dying to so many different things without a goal in mind. I even tried summoning the mechanical worm to see if I could get some of the basic ores, but I also got destroyed. And even after I lost, I tried to fight the destroyer again, and I got shit on just as bad. Then the next day, I tried farming for hollowed enemies in my hollowed / ice biome, which sucks because it's a hollowed ice biome. And at night, an ice golem spawned, so I was fighting him, but then the twins spawned at the same time, just to make things worse. And things weren't looking too great for a minute there, but I decided to really do some research, figure out what I needed to do, and on day 47, everything changed. So, the first thing that I did was go down to the jungle and get jungle spores so I could start the progress to upgrade my boots. Then, I went to the ocean and summoned up Blood Moon so I can boost shark spawn so I can get more shark fins. But two things happened when I was over there. The first, I got a pirate map, which is really good, but I also accidentally summoned Anahita, which is a boss that I'm not supposed to fight till a little later on. And on day 48, I finally made the lightning boots because items are craftable. And I also made the aquatic scourge spawner, and I tested it out. Yeah, I got shit. But I mean, that's cool, because on day 49, I killed my first hard mode boss, the Queen Slime. And yeah, the Queen Slime, it was honestly pretty easy. I don't even know what they changed, to be honest. It felt the same as any other Queen Slime fight. And the interesting thing about the Queen Slime is she didn't have her own lore item. I searched through the internet, I didn't get a drop for it, so I guess they might have just skipped over this boss, because nothing about it's really too important, even in the main game. Now, the good thing is, after I killed her, I managed to get her mount, which it's not the greatest mount, but it really helped me in some of the fights in the future. But now, it was day 50, and I am officially halfway through the 100 days. Now on day 50, I didn't really do much. I just made the Frostbark boots, which is just an upgrade to the lightning boots I already had. They're good. Nothing too insane though. Now from day 51 to 53, I spent the entire time getting Souls of Light because I wanted to spawn in, I think it's called the Hollow Chest. It's one of those fake chests that when you get close, they start to attack you and all that. But one of the drops that the Hollow Chest could have is the Dailiest Storm Bow. And this bow is insane. Paired with the Holy Arrows, it's unstoppable. It's so good. And on day 53, I kid you not, I got it on my first try. I think I made a few keys to summon multiple of the hollowed mimics, but I actually got it on my first try, which is so good because it's only like a 25% drop chance. And I was also able to make the Terraspark boots on the exact same day. Day 54? No, day 53. I was able to make the Terraspark boots and get the Dailiest Storm Bow. And now that I had the Dailiest Storm Bow, on day 54, I tried to fight the Aquatic Scourge, and I died. Mainly because I didn't have a platform yet, but I thought because the Dailiest Storm Bow shoots arrows from the sky, I thought it'd be really good against like a worm-based enemy, which it is, but I needed to make a platform, which I did on day 54, and I attempted him again, and I died again. And again, and again, and not again, actually. After many difficult losses and apprehensive moments with myself, I was able to fight and kill the Aquatic Scourge. this boss fight was probably top 3 favorite boss fights out of all the bosses I fought so far. It was his moves, like the gases that he shoots out they're so sick. Like there was a part where I was at 1 HP and there's so much like of the toxic gases around me. I had to go through, fall into the air, dodging all of them while dodging the worm at the same time. This was probably one of my favorite boss fights. And yeah, here's the lore item. A horror born of pollution and insatiable hunger. Based on size alone, this was merely a juvenile. These scourge creatures are the largest aquatic predators, and very rarely do they frequent such shallow waters. Now, from day 56 to 57, I attempted to kill Cryogen, and now this boss freaking sucks. Like, I hate fighting this guy. And I actually died a couple of times, so I went to the dungeon to get an alchemy table, because I wanted to summon more than just one minion at a time. And on my way there, I actually found a new biome. I don't know what it's called, but it's pretty cool. But that's not the focus. I got the alchemy table, was able to summon multiple minions, and I attempted Cryogen again. And boom, this is what happened. Boom, like that, I killed him. I will say, I don't like the boss fight because he sucks and he's gay, but the background, like the scenery, pretty sick. Like, it's hard to dodge his attacks because it kind of blends in, but like, the sky and how everything looks, it's pretty cool. Now, after you kill Cryogen, the Archmage NPC will spawn, and he actually sells some very good items. But I didn't buy anything at the time because I'm retarded, and I didn't know any better. But here's the lore item. The Archmage's Prison. I am unsure if it has grown weaker over the decades of imprisonment. Wow. Now, I was on a roll. I could not be stopped. I felt invincible. So the next day, on day 58, I fought the mechanical worm, and I died. But I only died because it turned day, and it went like Super Saiyan. It was insane. It was crazy how much stronger he was. But I only died because it turned day, and I went back the next day, and I killed it. Yeah, I did. Suck my nuts. Now, when you guys weren't actually looking, I actually died. But that's none of your business. This is the actual fight of me killing him. Now, the boss fight was pretty tough, and it was pretty sick, but I'm pretty sure they weakened the first 2 mechanical bosses that you fight, because you obviously can't get the original, like, hard mode ores off rip anymore. You have to defeat all 3 mechanical bosses to get all the ores unlocked. And there's actually 4 lore items for the mechanical trio. 1 for each of the mechanical bosses, and 1 as a group. Like, it explains, like, the 3. Yeah. Here's the lore for the mechanical trio. I see you have awakened Drayden's old toys. Once useful tools turned into savage beasts when their AIs went rogue. A mistake that Drayden failed to rectify in time. Here's the lore for the Destroyer. A machine brought to life by the mighty souls of warriors and built to excavate massive tunnels and planets to gather resources, could have been proven useful if Drayden didn't have an obsession with turning everything into a tool of destruction. Now the next boss I needed to kill would be the mechanical twins, and these guys suck dick. Like, this boss was so annoying. What people usually do is kill one of the twins and then kill the second one. But to even let it take damage, you have to get them both down into their enraged state, or else they're not taking any damage. And when they're both in their enraged state, they'd be like flying and just eating you and shooting lasers and fire, and it sucks. Like, what kind of fucking guy has a big ass and shoots a fat thrower at you, bro? So on day 60, I fought it twice and I died, and on day 61, I fought it again and I died. So on day 62, I decided to make the platform way longer and to get some new accessories to help me in the night. And after I did all of that, I still nah, I'm joking. I beat it. But before I play this, look at how more aggressive, how much more aggressive they are. These guys suck so many balls. But enjoy the fight. Now, before I show the rest of this, I'm gonna just warn you now, cover your ears, cause things are gonna get very loud. Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, I beat it. Don't know what to tell you. I'm just God. I'm that good. The biomechanical Watchers of the Night. Originally created as security using souls extracted from human eyes, these creatures did not belong in this world. It's best to be rid of them. Facts. Now, I did not think things would be this good, this deep into the 100 days. I'm like almost 3/4 of the way in, and I'm just slaying bosses after bosses. Like, I did have a bit of hard times at the start of the hard mode, but now I'm just slaying. I can't be stopped. Now, since I was doing so good, I went mining for mithril and orichalcum to make a new set, so I can fight Mech Skelly. And on day 28, right after I beat the twins, I actually got Mech Skelly pretty low. In my notes it says I died because it turned day, but looking back at the recording, it still looks like it's nighttime. Like, that looks like it's nighttime. I think I just suck. So I did what any logical human would do. I went back and I fucking killed him.
Yes! Let's go, bro!
Hey.
Oh my god.
The only thing I can really say is you suck. What a silly and pointless contraption. For something created with the essence of pure terror, Drayden obviously took several liberties with this design, and I am not impressed. Now, with the mechanical trio out of the way, I guess we're done with this section and we can finally move on to the real bosses. But that won't be for a few more days, because I needed to prepare. So on day 65, I made the Angel Tread boots, which is the next step above the Terror Spark boots. And these boots, they're crazy. They make you run so fast, and you can walk on any like surface liquid, and you're immune. Oh my god! And you're immune to the fire debuff. But that wasn't the only thing, because on day 66, I made the entire Adamantite set because I beat the mechanical trio. But more importantly, I made the Calamitis Clone spawner. Now let me tell you a little something about this boss right here. This boss is a mere clone of the final boss in Calamity. The final last boss of Calamity. I don't want to spoil it, but the Supreme Calamitis. I spoiled it. You're welcome. Now, as I told you, I came into this game blind, but the one thing I do know is Supreme Calamitis is tough. And I was about to fight the clone. But before that, I needed to prepare. So on the same day, I killed the Queen Bee. I'm not going to show the fight because it's a pre-hard mode boss. I basically one-tapped it. But I killed it because after you kill it, this NPC spawns and she sells some insane potions. And the potions she sells helped me out so much in all the boss fights after this. But from day 67 to 69, I basically just went on like a weapon spree. I tried making some sick weapons and even getting some sick ones. So on day 68, I made the True Excalibur and the Biome Blade, which both of these weapons are so sick. I don't think I used them like a lot throughout the playthrough, but they are used in some even better recipes like later on in the game. And on day 69, I tried getting the Sea's Searing, which is like a gun that the Aquatic Scourge drops. It's really freaking good, but I just couldn't get the drop, so I just quit. So instead, I decided to try and fight the Calamitis Clone, and you can kind of guess how that ended.
What the
So I was doing well for a minute until this guy like pulled out all of his balls. Like, I could not dodge that. So on day 70, after getting shit stomped, I decided to make the entire chlorophyll armor set and give it another shot. He was one shot. Like, he was so close to die. I almost beat him on my second shot, but I threw the bag and I never fought him again. I'm joking again. I'm joking. I prepared for him on day 71 and I fought him. And this fight is a very sick fight, a very sick point in the 100 days. And I really do hope you enjoy this fight, because this fight gave me a bunch of realization on how good I am at this game. And it was actually such a good fight with such good music. So enjoy the fight, and this is how it happened. Or, no. This is what happened.
god.
Like, yo, that boss fight is so good. It makes me horny. Like, if I'm speaking legit right now, like, all honesty, that is my favorite boss fight throughout the entire 100 days that I did. And it is the main reason I am still playing this mod. Not that I wouldn't have, like, continued playing if it wasn't in here, but it was just like that reassurance, like, yep, I want to see what this game has to offer. And if that was just a clone, that boss was pretty tough. I know I beat it on my 3rd try, but dude, I know you watched most of the fight. That boss was pretty tough, and I want to see what the Supreme Calamitis has to offer, and I'm so excited to play. Bro, I haven't played it in so long. I want to play. Okay, you are indeed stronger than I thought, though the bloody inferno still lingers, observing your progress. Interesting. Okay. It's time to focus on the next boss fight. I know I just got done with the legendary fight, but I only have like 30 days left. I beat the Calamitis Clone on day 71. I only had a few days left, and the next boss I had to fight was Plantera. And as I said earlier, things get really tough from here on out, like really hard. So from day 72 to 73, I started on the Plantera arena, and I managed to finish it on day 73. I made it really big because I have heard some things that Plantera is pretty hard, and I was kind of worried. Now, after finishing the Plantera arena on day 74, it took me all day, but I managed to get a whole ton of cryonic ore, and I could have gotten this a long time ago when I defeated Cryogen, but I had no clue because I don't know a lot about this game. And since I spent the entire day of 74 getting that ore, on day 75 I made the entire cryonic set, and that's sick, right? No, it's not. I died twice to Plantera, so I threw that terrible gear away. That thing sucks. So I put back my chlorophyte armor back on, and on day 76 I tried Plantera again, but it despawned as I was running to my arena.
God,
the
dude.
bulb was too far away, and I
God,
just wasted a free bulb. I did not know how many times I would have to fight this thing, and I'd have to make a whole new arena and a whole new area of the jungle because there's no bulbs around me, and I was really worried. So then I luckily found another bulb right by my arena, closer than the others, and I summoned it. And I mean, I don't know what changed. I don't know what happened. Here, you know what? You watch for yourself. Tell me what happened. I don't lose these! And you know, I could probably guess what you're saying right now. You're like, well, this dude's crazy. I know he said this was his, first time, but someone needs to come stop this man before he beats the game in the first 100 days. Well done. You killed a plant. It was used as a vessel to house the spirits of those unfortunate enough to find their way down here. I wish you luck in dealing with the fallout. And I feel unstoppable right now, so why don't I just go fight the next boss? Like, how hard could he possibly be, right? Alright, yo, look, let me get serious here for a second. The next boss I had to fight was the Golem, and he's found in the underground, hidden jungle temple. Everyone knows about him. You unlock him after Plantera. It's a regular Terraria boss, and it's honestly not a hard boss. No one really struggles with him, not even in Calamity. Now, it is day 78, the day after I killed Plantera, and I died twice to the Golem. And no matter what, for the next 21 days, I just could not kill him. I don't know what I had to do or what I was doing wrong. He wasn't a hard boss. Like, I'm showing you gameplay right now of me dying multiple times, but I don't know what I had to do. I couldn't kill him. I couldn't make any progression because you need to fight this boss. Because after this boss, everything in Calamity changes. It's like, that's when the real bosses start. And honestly, it was scaring me because I just couldn't beat him. He was the hardest boss I fought up since this point. He was harder than Calamitis, I've been saying his name wrong. It's Calamitis. He was harder than Calamitis. He was harder than the big ass plant. He was harder than all the mechanical bosses. All of them, like, combined. I could not win for my life. I did not know what I had to do. And looking at my notes, I didn't make much progress. Like, I did some things in the next 21 days, but I didn't make a lot of progress. I did do some things in between dying over and over and over. And when I say, I'm not exaggerating, I could make a whole 20-minute video of the amount of times I actually died to this guy. I'm so serious. This guy made me want to stop playing the game. Like, every time I got on and realized, oh my god, I gotta fight the golem again, it actually made me want to get off. And I'm pretty sure a few times I just got off. I didn't even get on the game because I had to fight him. And he actually just crushed my self-confidence to the floor, bro. To the floor. Lower, bro. I did not... This guy pissed me off so much. And since all I really did was die, the next 21 days are gonna go by pretty fast, so, I mean... And on day 78, other than dying to the golem like 69 times, I made a teleporter going from my base to the sulfuric sea on the very left side of my map. It costed so much money, but it was worth it. Now, on day 79 through 80, this is when things really pissed me off. So, let me tell you something. The temple blocks, you can't break it. I think you either have to beat the golem or you have to beat like Moonlord to get a pickaxe strong enough to break the temple blocks. But for some reason, the little minions that spawn in there drop the temple blocks, the blocks that you cannot break. And while I was in there, I was just completely out of my mind. Like, there's so many minions that spawned around me, so I was just trying to get through them to get to the boss. And I, for some reason, placed the temple blocks in the path of the boss. So I didn't realize at the time, but I blocked myself out. I could not get into the boss no more. And I fought the boss, I died, I went back to try to fight him again, tried to get in, and I almost punched my monitor, bro. I'm so serious. Dude, this right here is gonna make me go to like therapy or something. This boss just made me so mad. I blocked myself out, and I couldn't fight the boss. Until Big Brain Nate came out, and you know the teleporter that I made going to the sulfuric sea to my base? Well, I made a very miniature teleporter from the left side of the wall to the right side of the wall, so that's pretty cool. I can't believe I did that. That actually gave me some hope. And then I went back in and I died. And then from days 81 to 83, I tried making a new set. I got the Reaver armor and got this sick, like, fast shooting, like, flamethrower, which was pretty good. It actually helped. Then from day 74 to 75, I kind of looked up how to beat the golem, because I was in like distress. I didn't know what to do. And what a lot of people do is use the daily storm bow, which I use, and they also use holy arrows. But to get those, you need unicorn horns, and those only spawn from they only drop from unicorns in the hollowed biome. So I went searching for them for 2 whole days, didn't find a single one. At this point, I was just so mad. Then on day 76, I decided to kind of just change things up. All I was really doing was dying to the golem like over and over. I wanted to just maybe do something else and kind of like refresh me, you know. So I decided to go and fight Calamitis again, and I died.
Fuck! Dude, I'm done, bro.
And I was just really feeling like, holy, I don't want to play this game at all anymore. Like, I was so close to the end, and I was really about to hit delete. But I put so much time and effort into this, I felt like I just had to at least keep going, even if I couldn't beat the golem. And then on day 87 through 88, I forgot to record. Dude, this was a tough time. This was a very tough time. I didn't really do much. All I really did was summon the pumpkin event. I got literally nothing out of it, and the Christmas event, and also got nothing out of it. Now, on days 89 through 90, I actually needed to go fight Terraria again because I wanted to make a new sword called the Arc of Ancients. And this sword is actually really sick. So I fought Terraria and I actually won. Like,
Please,
I
man,
actually won.
die. Just
I
die.
finally
Just
beat
thank
someone.
God, bro.
But I managed to get the drop, and I made the Arc of Ancients, and holy, this sword is sick. You basically right click to parry someone, or like if you right click on an enemy, it'll hit them or like kind of stab them and like parry, and it makes the sword like 10 times stronger for like the next 10 hits, and this thing shreds. Seriously, it shreds. It didn't help against the golem. Then on days 91 through
they come out of
96, this is
nowhere.
when things were the roughest for me.
Dude, he has
I
me
made
trapped. He
no
has me
progress.
trapped.
All I see on my notes was lost again, like not a single thing there. Like I didn't make a single bit of progress. All I did was just die over and over to the
Dude, I'm
and
so
oh my god, I wanted to quit so
don't have
badly,
ammo,
but
bro.
I was so close to the end. I was in the home stretch. I just want, like, even if I couldn't beat the golem, I wanted to get this video out because I honestly thought it was pretty cool up to this point.
I'm so.
Now, from days 97 through 99, things got serious. Everything just changed. This is when I was like, you know what? No. If I'm gonna finish this 100 days, I'm gonna finish it strong. So I prepared as if this was my first time fighting the Moon Lord or something. Like, I went through all the stops. On day 97, I made a Blood Orange, which increases your maximum HP by a little bit. And I also died to this boss that I'm not supposed to fight yet. That's a later boss, but forget that. And then on day 98, I farmed for Souls of Night so I can make the Evasion Scarf, which is basically just a better Shield of Cthulhu. I could have made this a lot earlier because it's pretty good, but I didn't because I'm stupid. And I also fought the Great Sand Shark, which I don't think I got anything from it, but I just wanted to fight him because it's just a little mini boss. And on day 99, I farmed for Ectoplasm so I can make the Ballista Bow. And I got all my potions, and I went as far to even get landmines so I could place them at the bottom of the temple so whenever he stepped on them, it'd do some damage, some extra damage. And it was now day 100. 100 days in Calamity has just almost been completed, just a few more minutes left. And before I show you this golem fight, I'm not going to tell you whether I won or lost. I just want you to watch the fight and enjoy it. But before I show you, I just want to say this was the first time I ever done 100 days in anything. And I'm so happy I chose Terraria and Calamity because this was honestly very fun. And if you haven't played Calamity yet, you really should. It is an amazing mod. Just watch out for the stupid ass golem, right? Watch out for him, he sucks. And I mean, I don't have anything else to really say except enjoy the fight and just watch how goated I am. And this was probably the most intense fight out of the entire 100 days. And pray for me. Wow, what a way to end it. If you've watched it from beginning to end, did I not say how it ended well? Like, you trusted me and it paid off. You can't say it didn't end well. That was a perfect ending. Wasn't planned. Perfect. I couldn't have asked for anything better. That was the best ending I could have gotten. But if you really did stay all the way from beginning to end, man, I really can't thank you enough. And that basically means you enjoyed the video. So you have to subscribe and like the video now. Like, you have to do it. You like the video. But I mean, other than that, man, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day and stay safe. A primitive construct. I admire the lizard race for their ingenuity, though finding faith in such a flawed idol would invariably lead to their downfall.